Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about protections when it comes to Toro. So if you're a Toro host, it's important to know the protection and the different options. And I'm going to share the one that I go with. But before I get into it, I'm going to let you know in the description box, everything I use for Toro, it's on there. So if you go ahead and click the link, lockbox, no smoking sticker, cleaning, what I use for cleaning the cars, all that stuff is on there. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you can go ahead and sign up. I put a link there to make it easier. That way you get the stuff quickly. And then when it comes to Toro, if you have more questions and stuff, feel free to leave me comments down below. I also do have a Toro guide in the description box that can answer a lot of your questions. So I think it'll be a big help. But let's get into it. Some of you are thinking about joining Toro. Some of you might be new, and some of you may be hosts that have been on there for a while. But the protection plan is very important because it's going to be protecting your investment, right? If you're going out there and you're buying a vehicle just to put it on Toro and rent it out to make additional income, you want to protect that car if something was to go wrong, like an accident. Even if you're just trying it out with your personal car, right? You want to get those repairs covered if it got in an accident or anything like that. But I do want to throw this out there, and this can happen, especially if you're new, so it's important. Sometimes, because it happened with me in the sense when I first started Toro, it started to go really well. I was renting out the cars. I wasn't experiencing anything negative, right? The car was coming back perfect. People were, it would be a little dirty inside with some of the renters, but it was nothing that a vacuum couldn't fix. It didn't smell bad. There was no scratches, no damage to the car. And a lot of people actually experience this. They'll rent their car out and nothing goes wrong, right? And if there are people out there that try Toro and something does go bad right away. But I was saying for me that didn't happen. There are others that I know that doesn't happen to, and you could be in this situation. And usually what happens when something like this happens that you learn the platform or you're learning it and you're renting out the car and you're doing well, you're getting 5-star reviews and the car's going out and it's coming back and nothing is happening to the car. You start to get really comfortable. You start to think nothing's going to happen, right? Nothing's going to happen to the car. That's just other people that got unlucky. I know what I'm doing. I'm getting great guests and nothing's going to happen. Never think that way. If you start Toro and things are going great, like it happened for me and many others, don't get cocky where you're like, okay, nothing will ever go wrong. Because something will eventually go wrong if you're going to stay on the platform long term. And again, something can go wrong right away. Something can go wrong early on, but this is more likely to get more comfortable when nothing goes wrong for a while. And that's what happened to me. And you may start getting lazy in the sense of when it comes to when you're dropping off the car, you're giving the car to the guest, you may not do what you need to do. And what I mean by that is taking photos. Okay. You want to take a lot of photos. It does take a little bit of time. After a while, you might not find it, like you really want to do it because it takes some additional time. And maybe you're in a public place and you might feel weird that people might be wondering, why are you taking, so many pictures of the car? Don't let any of that bother you. Don't get out of the habit, because the problem is probably when you get careless and you stop doing what you should be doing is when you're probably going to experience your first incident. And the way you're going to get covered when that car is booked on Toro by a guest, the way that car's going to get covered is if you're taking the photos, right? I've gotten comments before because I made other videos in the past about this where people are like, oh no, I went on Toro, I had a horrible experience, my car didn't get covered. Most likely didn't get covered because you didn't follow the rules that Toro has set. You probably didn't take good pictures, you probably didn't take enough pictures, and that's when you get into trouble, and that's why you start hearing a lot of bad experience. I am a Toro host. I've been a Toro host for over 2 years. In the beginning, I didn't experience any accidents or scratches or any damage on the vehicles. But over time, I eventually did experience an accident. I eventually experienced a rim being scratched. I experienced a bumper being damaged and scratch and paint not being there. All these things, after being on there for over 2 years, I did come to experience, right? And one thing, luckily, that I always did is I would take a ton of pictures. So you're going to have a section where it's going to be the exterior of your car. And then you're going to have a section where it's the interior. For the exterior, I would take the most. I would take a good picture of the windshield. That way it shows that it has no cracks or anything. This is important in case a rock when the guest is driving on the highway, if they use it on the highway, it chips it. You can get that, right? I would show the hood, the fender, the sides. I get good pictures of the rims. Also on the front bumper, because if it's a sedan, if it's a car that's lower to the ground, the front bumper can get scratched, right? So I would get down low, take pictures all over the bumper and everything. The back part of the bumper where a lot of people, in my case, they're traveling, right? They put their luggages, can scratch the back bumper, all that I'm taking pictures of. So I would take about 30, 40 pictures every time. It does take time, but I would do it every time. And then the inside, I take a little bit less pictures, but I would take about 20 to 30. Now, you don't have to copy these numbers, but the point is take a lot of pictures. Take pictures all over the car, everything you can think of to show like, hey, this car's going out in mint condition. This car's going out with no damage. Or if your car has a little bit of wear and tear, you're just showing what the car has. That way, if it comes back with any new damage, you have proof of that. And that way you can be covered. So I'm throwing these tips out there, especially for those new Toro hosts, and hopefully you find it helpful. If you do, don't forget to smash the like button. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here so you can see the different protection plans. So let me do that. All right, perfect. So it popped up here. I'm going to let everyone know that's watching the protection plan I have, but I'm also going to go over the different ones because Toro offers more than one. So you may like the one that I have, but maybe the one I have doesn't, it may be one that you don't like. So I want to go over all the options. And I haven't looked at this actually in a while because I've been a Toro host for over 2 years. So I don't remember perfectly, but this gives me an opportunity to refreshen up on it and share it with you. So you're going to see right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 plans. And I think before there was 4. I don't remember 5. Toro's has had a lot of changes. I have made some videos about some changes. And so that I am going to throw that out there. Toro does change things up. So if you do join the platform, if you have been on the platform, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're new, just know that Toro does make its changes here and there. So you want to stay alert because sometimes you have to adjust to their changes. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes sometimes I don't think they're great in my opinion, but I got to adjust to them. But you got the 60, the 75, the 80, the 85, and the 90 plan, right? So the 90 plan, here it is. It says hosts take 90% of the trip price. So the 90 plan, you're going to get the most money, right? But your protection's not going to be the best. So you got to keep that in mind. Your deductible, if something were to happen, it says over here it's going to be $2,500, meaning something happened to the car. If it's under that, you're going to be responsible for it. So make sure you have that money set aside if you're going to go with this plan. I don't recommend this plan. This is not the plan that I have. But if some of you are like, hey, I want to get more money, I get it. We all want to make more money, but there's a risk involved, right? So just know, hey, if something did happen to the car, you're going to be looking about $2,500 and a deductible. If that's something that you're okay with, that's something you have stashed away, and that one you think works for you, then you have that option. But just remember that it's $2,500. So something to keep in mind. It does offer the third-party insurance, so that's good. That's going to cover up to $750,000. Replacement vehicle reimbursements not included. Exterior wear and tear not included, and loss of hosting income is not included. Meaning, if you have a fleet, right, and the car gets damaged and it's going to be at the body shop, you're not going to be able to rent it out for a day, 2 days, a week, however long. Toro's not going to give you any money for that. So basically, that's also going to come out of pocket. Another thing to keep in mind. You're going to be responsible for the deductible, and also you're going to be responsible if you're making payments or something like that on the car, and you'll have no money coming in. So you want to make sure if you're going with this plan, definitely have some money stashed away because of the high deductible, and you're going to have to cover the cost of the car not being able to be rented out. So keep that in mind when you're making these decisions. Now let's go ahead and check out the other one. So the other one is the 85 plan. So that one, you get to keep 85% of whatever your car brings in. When it comes to getting booked, your deductible is less. It's going to be $1,625 per incident. You do get that third party liability up to 750,000, and then replacement vehicle reimbursement, that's not included. The exterior wear and tear not included, and the loss of hosting income not included with this one. So this one, you get to keep a large portion of what the car brings in when it gets booked, but and sorry, and your deductible is less. So that's another one. If this is an opportunity where you can make more money every time the car gets booked, if something did happen, the deductible is not as high as $2,500. So that's an option there. Now you may be wondering, is this the one that I have? No, I don't have the 85 plan. I do not have that one. The next one we have here is the 80 plan, right? Similar like the other ones. The 80 just means you're going to get 80% what the car brings in when it gets booked of that daily rate. The deductible is a lot less. It's under 1,000. It's actually $750 per incident, which is not bad. Okay, so that's you get to keep 80% and it's 750, so not bad. You get the third party liability, 750. Again, you don't get the wear and tear, the loss of hosting income, and replacement vehicle reimbursement. That's not included. So it's just like the 80, 85, 90. None of those have it included. The 80 doesn't. But you do get 80% of what the car brings in from, your daily rate plus your deductible is under $1,000. So not a bad one to consider. I don't think this is a bad one in my opinion. You may be wondering, is this the one that I have? No, we're still not there. But guess what? We hit it. We're there. I have the 75 plan. Now, this is the one I have. I'm just sharing with you the one I have. You have to determine which one you want to go with, what's your risk tolerance, and all that. But this is the one I have. So I get to keep 75% of that daily rate. And I don't think I mentioned that with the 85.90, it's off the daily rate. It's you can make money on Turo other ways with delivery feeds. You can do add-ons, but Toro's always going to take a cut. These plans is just 75% of that daily rate, or 80 or 85, depending on which one you go with. But I have the 75 percent. So whenever the car goes out, I get to keep 75%. I get it. They're taking a decent chunk, right? They're getting 25%. But I think it's worth it because my deductible is only $250. That's a nice peace of mind. Something goes wrong, my deductible is very low, and I like that. For me, that's important. Also got the third party. They all have the 750, so that doesn't change. That's the same on the coverage for third party. But replacement vehicle reimbursement, $30 a day, a 10-day max, $300 if a total loss. So I do get that. So replacement vehicle reimbursement, the 75 plan offers it, the other ones don't. That may be of importance to you. For me, that's not that big of a deal. It is a nice plus. I'm not against that being there as an option. I really like the low deductible. That's the biggest reason why I took the 75 plan. And when I was actually thinking about joining Turo, a lot of the people that already were on Turo, that was the plan that they had. So at the time I made the decision go with that one. I got used to getting the 75% cut. It works for me. So I haven't made any changes and I've been happy with it. And it's come in handy sometimes because like I said, I have been in that situation where I have had accidents and scratches after being on the platform for a while. I eventually did end up experiencing some accidents and damage to the vehicle. So that's the one I have. Wanted to let the one I have, but there's more. There's the 60 plan. So this is the best coverage you can get with Toro. You only get to keep 60% of that daily rate. The deductible, though, is zero. Anything happens to the car, you don't have to worry about it out of pocket. This is not a bad option if you're brand new, it's your personal car, and you just want to test out the water, right? In case something did happen, because that is definitely a possibility, you don't have to worry about any out of pocket for the deductible. So this is not a bad one if you just want to test it out and then later you can change the protection plan to the 75 plan or the 80 or whichever one you want. But you can start off with the 60. You won't make as much, but you'll definitely have that protection. So if you're new, not a bad one to consider. I didn't use this one when I first started, but now that I look back on it, it's not bad if you're like nervous about it and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do Toro, but I'm worried if something happens and then the deductible and the out of pocket. We'll start off with the 60 plan, see how it goes, start making some money, save up that's basically save up some money for deductible and then change it to the 75, right? Because that's only 250. And then after that, you save up some more money, you can change it to the 80. That's also another option to make some more money later on if you just want to test out the water and see how it goes for you. So I wanted to throw that out. But yeah, you will only get 60%. The deductible would be zero. You get the third party. That doesn't change on all of them. It's up to 750,000. The replacement vehicle reimbursement is $50. So it's higher on this one. It's a 10-day max like the 75 plan, but 500 if the car was a total loss. You can get up to 500. Exterior wear and tear. Toro assumes responsibility for the wear and tear. So you're also going to get the wear and tear protection right there. Look at that. Loss of hosting income. This is important, especially if you're new. This could be really important. So Toro is going to says potential earnings based on 60 days up to a maximum of 30 days for a repairable vehicle, or the host takes replacement vehicle. So the car gets in an accident, they're going to give you loss of hosting income. Okay, that's huge, especially if you're new on the platform. Imagine something happened, you don't have to worry about the deductible. They're going to give you some money for that loss of use. So the car sitting at the body shop, they're going to give you money. So not a bad one to consider. Definitely do me a big favor. If you're thinking about joining Toro or you're already on Toro, go ahead, check these out. Take them seriously, read each one, think it over, and see which one's best for you. Now, I let you know I have the 75 plan. I just wanted to share. I shared a little bit how I came to that decision. It was watching other hosts on YouTube, and that's how I came to my decision, go with the plan. But again, I made that choice, right? They didn't tell me to do it. I just wanted I heard that that's the one they used. I did go through each one, and I said I'm going to go with that one. So hopefully you're able to find the right plan for you. If you did find the right one for you, you found the video helpful, smash the like button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what plan you have if you are a Toro host. And let me really quick, let me see. Share. All right, so we're back. I was just taking it off the share screen. But yeah, hopefully you guys are killing it for 2025 on Toro. If you're host, this is a channel that I talk about cars, car buying, Toro, and other ways to make money. So if that's something you like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, do me a big favor. If you haven't done so, smash the like button. Don't forget, check out those links in the description box. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.